Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to be talking about Concord again, and unfortunately it is really bad news. Today we are on the PlayStation official blog. I just saw the tweet and it's already done. Concord is already done for, and I can't believe it happened this fast. I just checked the release date, the original release date. Concord released August 23rd. It is September 3rd. So it's been 11 days since the official launch. And on the PlayStation blog, an important update on Concord by game director Ryan Ellis of Fireworks Studio. Concord fans, we've been listening closely to your feedback since the launch of Concord on PlayStation 5 and PC. I want to thank everyone who joined the journey aboard the North Star. Your support and the passionate community that has grown around the game has meant the world to us. However, while many qualities of the experience resonated with players, we also recognize that other aspects of the game and our initial launch didn't land the way we'd intended. Therefore, at this time, we have decided to take the game offline beginning September 6, 2024, and explore options including those that will better reach our players. While we determine the best path ahead, Concord sales will cease immediately, and we will begin to offer a full refund for all gamers who have purchased the game for PS5 and PC. If you purchase the game through PlayStation 5 from the PlayStation Store or PlayStation Direct, a refund will be issued back to your original payment method. Customers who purchase from the digital storefront will also be refunded. More information about refunds from Steam and Epic can be found below. And these are just the refund policies. Coming days, yeah, you can send you confirmation, Epic Games Store as well, and other retailers. Once refunded players will no longer have access to the game, we'll keep you updated, and thank you again to all the free gunners who have joined us in the Concord Galaxy. I can't believe it happened this fast. So in 3 days, Concord will cease to exist and it will be pulled offline. So it lasted, what did I say? It was 11 days, 11, 12, 13. So 14 days in total, Concord would have lasted. That is crazy. It must have done, like, we knew the numbers were bad. We knew they were bad. But it was so bad that they pulled the plug, like, immediately. I thought we were going to get at least a couple months. We're going to get season 1, season 2, maybe. Like, I was expecting at least a couple seasons to go before they either went free to play to try to get more players or a shutdown. But it lasted 14 days. Let me just double check that. Let me do the counting. 12, 13. Yeah, 14 days. It lasted 14 days in total because it'll be going offline September 6th. I guess the PlayStation numbers weren't any better than the PC numbers, because there's no way, like, if the PlayStation was doing fine, like, there were some people saying that the PlayStation numbers might be good enough to, like, push it through, but it seems like the PlayStation numbers weren't good enough because the PC numbers were nowhere near good. And this is a huge blow. They spent so much money on this game, and I feel really bad for Fireworks Studios, because the problem with Concord, in my opinion, isn't that it's a bad game. It's that it's a boring game. And that's a really hard thing to try to fix. And another problem is that the game is in what feels like a crowded genre, even though it's not really crowded, but it just feels crowded. The hero shooter isn't a crowded genre, but it feels very crowded for some reason, even though, like, Overwatch 2 is basically the only game on market right now that's popular, that's a hero shooter. But there's so many ones that were announced recently, like Marvel Rivals, and there's another one I feel like. Deadlock doesn't really count. It's more of a MOBA. I feel like Marvel Rivals is really the only big one that's you're fighting. But the problem is that it's a hero shooter that's trying to be a mixture of also tactical shooter, because the game modes were regular FPS game modes, not payload or push the cart. It was domination, team death, kill confirmed, and search and destroy, basically. So then you're fighting not only Overwatch 2 with the hero shooter stuff, you're also fighting Valorant, Counter-Strike, and, like, Spectre Divide, which was recently announced, which is coming from Shroud. And, like, you're fighting so many things and you're not good at any of them, which is the problem. And the problem is that it's not that they're bad at any of it, it's just that it's boring. And none of the characters had personality. The single player story is a 2-minute cutscene that no one cares about. The Most of the lore is just walls of text that no one's going to read. It's it's just so unfortunate because you can tell that a lot of work was put into this. And oh gosh, let me just quickly look up another thing about Concord. Okay, I tried to look up the budget for Concord, but I couldn't find it. But it was a lot. It was in the I'm almost positive it was in the hundreds of millions. But like the problem is that I feel like Concord made no money. Like it made so little money that they're shutting the game down already, which is not a good sign. Now the future question is, what does let me try to find it again in the blog post. While we determine the best path ahead, what does that mean? That's the real question. Does that mean they're going back to the drawing board and redesigning Concord? Or are they just cutting losses and making a different game? I have a feeling that it might be cutting losses and just making a new game. Or, I mean, I honestly, okay. I don't want to be like, I feel like Concord can exist. The problem is that they just gotta understand what the game is. They either need to fully pivot into a full hero shooter, have actual payload maps, get rid of the really dumb, like when you win around with a character, you can't play that character anymore. Get rid of that. Make payload maps, make the game faster paced. I feel like the game is very slow from when the gameplay that I saw, and make it free to play. That's something that they could do relatively I feel like they can do that in a relatively quick time frame if they have that much time. Because the real question is, okay, obviously the Sony execs are not happy. The Sony execs are quite disappointed, and they spent a lot of money on this project. So what can you do to save it? If you can save it at all. And I feel like a quick turnaround of free to play, just make the game faster paced and turn the 3 playlists they had into 2 playlists. A casual playlist where you have the team deathmatch and like domination modes, and a ranked playlist, or like, no, let me rephrase that. A casual playlist where it has all the modes in it, like don't put that search and destroy in there, and have a ranked playlist where it's payload maps only or something like that, and you have to try to spice it up in some way. Like maybe you make it, you know what I just realized? I keep saying Paladins exists. So like, I guess they are fighting against Paladins and Overwatch 2 then, and Marvel Rivals. But Marvel Rivals isn't out yet, but they are fighting against them. So I feel like you need to make your game, they have to figure out the twist. They have to have a twist. And right now Concord's twist is the ranked mechanic where you can only play a character once, but that's a bad twist because the reason people play hero shooters is because they love certain heroes. So if you can only play a hero once, or even if you can, even with the new system where you can have different versions of the same guy, that's not good enough. And it's so hidden underneath the stuff that most people don't play the harder core ranked modes. Most people just play casual. And as a casual game, Concord is not different in any way, or not different enough. So they have to figure something out. And I don't know. This is not looking good. I really hope they actually are trying to determine the best path ahead, and it's not PlayStation saying you're all fired, or like they're gonna shut down the studio and reorganize the studio, and there's gonna be tons of layoffs, and some people are gonna go to different studios and all that stuff. But I have, unfortunately, a feeling that it's going to be that, where it's unfortunately we're gonna be in a couple weeks, we're gonna read that Fireworks Studios is being shut down, and that sucks because once again, Concord isn't a bad game. The problem is it's a boring game, which is almost worse than being a bad game. So hopefully they can figure something out. Maybe if they can, maybe, you know what they could try to do, which is hilarious to think, is maybe they could try to pivot into a PvE game and try to just say, give the middle finger to like Blizzard and say, no, we're the PvE game that you always wanted. But that'll take a lot of time and resources, and the PlayStation's already. The problem is that this is already a failed project, and how much more money is PlayStation willing to put into this? I don't know. That's a hard question to ask. And unfortunately, I don't have the answers. We'll just have to wait and see. That is, it happened so much. I did not expect to be making this video so soon, but here we are. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it gets better, but it doesn't look like it's going to get better for Firewalk Studios. I hope it does, though. If you'd like to comment down below what you guys think about this situation, I'm very interested in what you guys would like to say. If you even want Concord to try to come back or not. I mean, I know most of us didn't even play it because the main reason is no one bought this game. So we'll see. But thank you all for watching. Please follow me on other things. If you like to subscribe to here, I have a Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and a Twitch, all with the same name, at the TechnoJelly. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in another video. Goodbye, everyone.